Chosen vessels, what's good? Someone is about to suffer big time because of what they thought they got away with and think God didn't see. They thought they were going to get away with it, but they don't know that God sees everything. He knows what we're going to do before we do it. Everything you do, God knew you were going to do it before you did it already. And the way things work is that over a while, what people do sometimes, it gets to them. So if they're that cold-hearted, and if they're that malicious, they better hope that they truly don't have a heart or a conscience, because what they did may potentially get to them. It may start to keep them up at night, or it may affect them during the day, or just may cause them to feel bad about what they did. So they better hope that that's not the type of person that they are. They better just not care completely and be ruthless, because it may start eating them. That may be a part of their suffering. They may begin to think about what they did to you, and it may affect them violently. Thoughts are very powerful, and they could potentially destroy a person. Your thoughts are powerful enough to make you or break you. And your thoughts are going to determine your attitude. And your attitude and how you view yourself, how you look at life, how you meet life, that's how everyone and everything is going to meet you. So thoughts are things, and those things cause you to feel a certain way. And their thoughts may just begin to eat them alive. Just because they're going to suffer doesn't mean it's going to be anything you can physically see. They may look like they're in great shape. They may appear to be perfectly normal, like nothing is wrong. Normal. There may seem like there isn't one problem that this person is having. But one thing that no one knows but God, what he'll see, what he'll know, is that this person just might be suffering. So people try to hide it on the outside. They may look like they feel good. They may look like everything is okay. But on the inside, they may not be doing too good. That's how they think. And how they're feeling due to the type of person they've been and what they've done. Because some people know they can't do anything because of just that. They know that if they do something that's wrong, they're either going to feel horribly about it. And on not only that, they know that there's going to be not probably, but there's going to be some repercussions for what they do, because you sow what you reap. What you put out, that's what you get back and whatnot. So when it comes to people and they're suffering, those that they made suffer, those that they took advantage of, they tried to play, they tried to do harm to, they're not getting away with that. They're about to suffer extremely. They may be able to keep their car, finances might be intact, house might be nice, may look like they're living pretty well. It may look like everything's going just right, but no one knows the trouble they've seen. No one knows what this person is going through. They could be suffering right in your face and putting on a show. This person could end up with a voluntarily horrible disease. You know, they could end up with something something fatal, something terminal. God forbid. I don't want to see that happen to anyone, and I really mean that. But if the person did something wrong, and that's what they're suffering from, and they know they did you wrong, and this is someone that you have to see, they're not going to want you to know that. They're going to want you to think that everything's okay. They're going to want you to think that everything's good and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on. The whole time, this person is suffering. But they're pretending and putting on an act that everything is all right. You never know what a person is going through. Some people wear what they're going through, whether through their facial expression or their body language. You could tell that person is going through what they're going through. But then you have people who can hide it, who appear strong, people who appear like they've got it all together. And that's good for people to do that. That's a positive quality for people to be able to hold themselves together in a tough time. People will get sick. People will have health problems, God forbid. And what they'll do is they'll create a different idea about themselves, or a healthy persona or a healthy vision in their mind, and they won't see themselves as having the disease. But that's not this. That's not what's going on here. All right, they're trying to not show you that they're paying for what they did and the type of person that they were. They're trying to show you that, you know what, I know I was a horrible person, but I'm still holding it together. I'm still standing 10 toes down. I know I'm still strong. A lot of people are still faking. A lot of people are still faking. All right. They're unable to forgive themselves. They're unable to apologize to you. All they have to do is forgive themselves for behaving that way. But they can't even do that. They can't apologize. So the fact that they definitely aren't going to apologize, they definitely aren't going to try to amend the situation, it's just going to end up staying where it is. Because if they really were a different person, they would have tried to come to some type of terms where at least they knew you knew what they did was wrong. That's the least that they could have done. Was like, hey, what I did was wrong. Shouldn't have acted that way towards you. That wasn't right. Because God saw everything. He always does. And just because you don't know they're suffering, and that's even better for you to not know they're suffering, because you might end up start even feeling bad. How about that? But definitely don't feel bad. People make choices, and you don't have to suffer because of their choices. You shouldn't be suffering because of other people's choices. What people choose to do is not supposed to be a problem for you. But God sees everything. People think they get away with certain things. They think they get away with how they do others and the way that they treat people. But no one really gets away with anything. It always comes back to you in some form, some way or another. So you have to just focus on yourself. Feeling bad for them is not going to make their situation any better. Feeling bad for people doesn't make the situation any better, because what that's going to do is harm you. Feeling bad for someone, that's going to ruin your mood. That's going to ruin your day. It's better for you to not know if they're suffering, because sometimes that suffering is real. And what they're going through, there may not be any coming back from it. But you'll see over time that the things that people do and the person that they continue to be, it ends up getting them into something. It's usually not what they did to us. The reason why they're suffering, it's not because of they harmed us or wronged us is why they're suffering, but it's because they continue to do wrong to people and they continue to be a bad person, and their actions usually catch up with them. A lot of people, they never change and their actions catch up with them, and that's why they end up in certain situations. They end up losing out on life. Life ends up throwing them a curveball. They end up getting done wrong, or they end up in a bad situation. But with that, they don't realize that they brought it on themselves. And a lot of people bring bad situations on themselves because they refuse to change. That's why change is important. Change isn't important just to say you've changed. It's important because you no longer want to be that type of person, because you gain some type of foresight and you can see into your future what's going to happen to you if you continue to choose to go down the same path. So when you go down a different path, you're going to have different results. Your life is going to be different. You're going to be a different person. And that's better if what you're doing is negative, or what you're doing isn't right, or it's not good. But some people don't see it that way. They think they can get away with everything. They keep doing the things that they do. They keep either robbing people, they keep stealing from people, they keep talking about people, you know, they keep doing whatever wrong it is that they're doing, getting people fired, being a horrible person to other people. So these people are going to end up suffering. And when they do, they really end up getting done pretty bad. Like, people end up with a lot of horrible things that go wrong. A lot of bad things happen to them. And it's a result of all the things that they did to people. And they don't know when it's going to happen. But when it happens, at that point, of all the chances and all the opportunities that they had to stop, when God chooses to finally let them have it, that's going to be a wake-up call. Some people need a wake-up call, because without a wake-up call, they don't have any idea that God sees what they're doing. When they get that health issue, that wakes them up. Okay, it's time to make a change here. God's aware of what I'm doing. When you have other issues and other problems, certain things start to be taken away, certain blessings start to disappear. That's when people wake up. That's when people really start to pay attention, and they really start to consider becoming a different person. When things happen to people that they least expect, life-changing events, life-changing events like they end up having to go to the hospital, or something bad end up happening, like they lose a job, they're like the owner of this company, they end up going bankrupt. And it's not like you want to see these things happen, because I see a lot of people in the comments, they're like, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I'm like, yo, I feel you. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody either. But people end up getting these results from the type of person that they are, because once God has enough with people, he deals with them. He'll give you a certain amount of time, but when he's done with you, he's going to deal with you. And some of these people God is done with, and he's about ready to deal with them. And you're going to have people that are going to come up to you, people that you know, people from your past, that are going to try to appear and try to look like they're really holding it up and they're doing their best. But it's going to be something that you see. It's going to be something that's off. It's going to be something that doesn't seem like they're doing as good as you might think they are. And you might even possibly know, be like, oh wow, all that stuff they were doing, it finally caught up to them. People end up getting the results of the choices that they make in life. If you see yourself not making the right choices, start to make different ones, because whatever choices you're making, they're going to be the results for your life. If you don't like the results of your life, you have to make different choices down to whatever it is you're doing, because whatever type of person you are, that's how your life is going to go. People aren't going to just be able to be a bad person forever and not expect it to catch up to them. And the things people do eventually catches up to them. Just like if you do a lot of good, it's eventually going to catch up to you. Sooner or later, the universe is going to bless you for all the good that you're doing. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen, but you end up getting blessed. Same thing with people that are messy and that choose to do wrong. The more wrong they do, sooner or later, it's going to catch up to them. And once that suffering starts, they can't go back and rewind and turn the clock back on all the things that they did and the type of person that they chose to be. Those deeds are done. Those actions are done. They put in that work. All right. A lot of people have time put in on doing things to people to try to be a bad person. As far as how they behave, it's like they have time effing with people. They have time getting people kicked out of apartments. They have time doing things, getting in trouble, blaming it on other people. There are people who get away with that. I never thought I'd experience that in my life. I never thought somebody would do something and then blame it on me and me get in trouble for it. I like, you see that type of stuff on TV. You see that stuff happen in life. And I never seen that happen in life before, but I've seen that stuff happen on TV, and I guess that's being blackmailed. But I was staying at this place, and this dude was blasting his music real loud, and I made music, but I had headphones, and the lady quote unquote didn't know where the music was coming from, because old bull was lying and saying that it was the other guy, which was me, the other guy, and I wasn't blasting my music. I had headphones on. So sooner or later, I keep getting blamed for it, and they just ended up finding more fault with. Once they find fault with you, and it's like no one admits to it, and it's an ongoing problem. They just keep looking to find things, and if you look for something hard enough, you're gonna find it. If you look for a problem with someone, more than likely you may just find it. So I'm talking about people who do stuff like that to you. You know, these are the people you end up seeing in bad situations because their actions catch up to them. And it's not necessarily what they did to us, it's a result of all the things they've done to people as a whole and the type of person that they've been. So it's like these people, for us, these people had been this kind of person. Like I said, they have time put in being this kind of person. Like they are standing 10 toes down on being this type of person. A lot of these people will be this type of person to their grave. They know who they are. They know the type of person that they want to be, and they roll with it. They take what comes with it. They know that they're not the best kind of person, and they just say, "Oh well, whatever." They think that God doesn't see these things, whether they care or whether they're just unaware. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, He knows and He sees it. He sees everything that everybody does. Me, other people, everybody. So, I'm no saint. I'm definitely no saint, but I stay out the way. I'm no saint, but I stay out the way. I love God, I love people, and I stay out the way. Like, if a person doesn't bother me, I won't bother them. That's how I always been. Yeah. Anyway, someone's about to suffer, right? And they may be suffering right up underneath your nose. It could be a neighbor. It could be someone that you knew a long time ago. It could be someone from your past. But trust and believe, as things begin to work out for you, as you begin to win and elevate and move forward, right? People are going to be suffering. All the people who thought they got over on what they did, and it's a number of people who did weird things to you, like just weird stuff. It's like, yo, why you got to do that to me? It's like, like, why you got to lie on me? Why you got to say I did something when I didn't do it? Why do you have to try to get me fired? Why do you have to try to get me kicked out the apartment and I have to move someplace else? All right. So people do a lot of weird things to other people that they hate on, that they're jealous of, that they don't want to see go forward with their life. All right. They want to be a life blocker, a situation stopper, right? So a lot of people want to try to hold us back. But guess what? They only held themselves back, and they only continue to like set themselves up to be destroyed. Like, a lot of people are finished and they don't know. God's just letting them finish themselves. All the things that they're doing is just getting recorded, and eventually all that stuff is going to catch up to them. And all the people that they did wrong, their payback is seeing that person suffer, and you may not even know it. You may not even know it. But as jacked up as they are, you have to relax yourself and get to a point to where you wouldn't want to see anything happen to them, because that's real growth, and that's someone that's really moved on. All right, when you can get to the point to let go of what they did and who they are and be unbothered, that's how you know you truly let that go. People who let things go get to move on. They get to be happy. They get to enjoy themselves. They get to have a good life. That's why letting things go is important, and holding on to the things that people do is bad, but holding on to the lesson from it will teach you something, and that's always good. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'll check you out later. Peace.